Hello, this is Minister Eric O'Neal January, talking about how do we turn pain to power, because we all realize what's going on in America. Throughout the world, people are in protest about what occurred on May the 25th, 2020. It's something that will be written in the history books, just like 9/11 was, just like bombing of Pearl Harbor. It was the day that George was murdered. It very well could be the spark to moving towards focusing on the rule of law towards the rule of justice. And when I say justice, I'm talking about something that people have been crying out for years. And when I say for years, I'm going to go way back at least 2,000 years and tell you what Jesus said about the subject. It says, Jesus said, in a certain town there was a judge who neither feared God or cared about what people thought. And there was a widow in that town who kept coming to him with the plea, grant me justice against my adversary. Grant me justice against my adversary. She probably did this for days, because listen to what the man said. For some time he refused. We don't know how long that time was, but it was enough for him to get frustrated. But he said finally to himself, even though I don't fear God or care about what people think, yet because this widow keeps bothering me, I will see that she gets justice, so that she won't eventually come and attack me. Isn't this what people with money are often afraid of? That somebody is going to come and attack them and take their wealth because they have been treated inhumanely, and they're just getting tired of being treated like dogs, and getting tired of being treated unequally as it has been in the United States. So we're talking about justice, and Jesus was talking about justice. People have always been concerned about being treated equally and having a judicial system that saw people impartially, not that they were black, not that they were white, not that they were male or female or rich or poor, but yet as people that were complainants to a law, and the judge was just looking with an unbiased opinion on how he's going to determine his case. He didn't come in predisposed like, well, you know, that's an African American and you can't necessarily trust what anything that an African American says. Well, people are tired of being treated inhumanely. It started in the United States in 1619 with the first slaves. It was cemented in 1787 when the Constitution was ratified, and they created basically a constitution for white males, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and then another for Africans, which were treated as capital under the bondage of slavery. So people are tired of this culture that has been ingrained in American society. Because I can talk about it personally. I've had a brother that was in the military that was tragically murdered while he was in full military uniform, going from one naval base to the next. An officer in the military, treated worse than a dog, shot down. And yes, the family won the lawsuit, and as a result of that. But what good is money when he got a daughter that has never had a chance to actually see her father because he was murdered a month before she was born while he was in the military? Money is no substitute for an injustice. So we can't cure it by just giving money, and particularly the money that they're just printing that has no value. So, and the Lord said, listen to what the unjust judge says. And will not God bring justice for his chosen ones who cry out to him day and night? And I tell you, he will see that they get justice, and quickly. However, when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on earth? To answer the question, yes, he's going to find faith on earth. People are still going to trust the government, some people. And people are still going to trust in certain engineers. People are still going to trust in their spouses. People are always going to have faith in something. But the question is, will people have faith in the judicial system? Let's turn this pain into power. Versus just venting our frustration and releasing some energy and letting our voice be heard. Let's channel it and focus it so that we can cause a movement going in a direction where we have a society where justice is what reigns. See, the rule of law has been reigning since 1787 in this country, and people have used it to commit atrocities. The things that were done to African Americans in this country and around the world is heinous. It's stuff that will make people throw up today if they had to see it. The way that people were treated as capital and as less than human beings. So even the most ardent racists would say that some of that stuff is inhumane. We can just send them back to Liberia, like many of them did in the 1800s, and created a whole country with former slaves in America. So we need to stop focusing on just the rule of law and start, because the rule of law is whatever is written in law is going to be enforced. Well, what's written in law may not be just. We need to start focusing on the rule of justice, where justice is what reigns supreme. That's what's sitting on the bench. Not a man or a woman, but somebody that is intent and squarely focused on the fact that I don't care how much money you have, I don't care what color you are, I don't care how old you are. I am going, when you come before my bench, I'm not going to use case law or bench law, or whatever you want to call it, or the Constitution to condone an illegal and immoral activity. So let's focus our energy and not just go out and loot and get something that is temporal, that is not going to last. Let's get something that will benefit all of society. Let's let justice reign. Let's turn our pain into power. Again, this is Eric January. I've been talking about stuff like this for years. And I want you to tune in and reach out to me, because I want to help be the difference in whether it's visible or not. I've got some things that'll help you. You can get my books online. Again, this is Eric O. January, CPA, the author of the Gainology book series. And thanks so much for tuning in. God bless you.